Welcome, Hostile Sundays. We here with Lor Sosa. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's poppin'?
Not much. Appreciate you coming through. First of all, tell everybody where you from, who you are.
For sure. My name is Lor Sosa, aka Special J. I was born in Phoenix, Arizona. I came out to Maryland when I was about 10 years ago. And I've been living in the area for the last 10 years in West Baltimore, in Annapolis, Howard County. I stayed in Bowie for a little while, so I just be around Maryland and shit.
Okay. So you from Phoenix, Arizona. What was it like growing up there? Do you remember?
It was hot as shit, boring as fuck. I was there because my daddy had went to prison, and he was like operating around LA and shit. But he ended up in Phoenix because he had to get out LA and shit. He met my mama, and he ended up going to prison and shit for a minute. So I stayed out there. I ain't fuck with that shit though. Like I grew up like around like a lot of Spanish people and shit. Not really like a lot of people that look like me. You feel me? A lot of weird ass like racist type shit. So the first opportunity I had to get the fuck up on out of there. I've been getting money since I was a little boy and shit, like really just on my own. So once I was able to get a car when I was like 14, my daddy had got out when I was 9 years old, and he came out here. So I was like, I'm going to Maryland. Like I was coming out here and shit. I'm like, man, I'm getting more bitches out here and everything. Like, I love it out here. This shit crazy. There's people that look like me and shit. So I came out to Maryland and shit. I never left and shit. Shit just been cool. And I gravitated more so towards like the Baltimore area. And I got most of my money in Baltimore and like around the area.
So, what impact did moving around have on you as a child, as growing up, you know?
Shit was fucked up. We didn't really have too much, you know what I mean? Shit was just, it was weird for real. Like, just growing up in cultures and shit that don't really look at you like you really part of that culture, you know what I mean? So when I had gone outside Phoenix, cause you know being in Phoenix is like you landlocked and shit. You're not going nowhere. You stuck basically. That's how I fucking felt. And you know what I mean? Like all my family, most of my family members was like a lot of the men had money from the 90s like drug era type shit. So they was all getting bread from that type shit. But you know that shit caught up to niggas, and they ended up all going to prison and shit like that. So the shit was just weird. Like it was tough. I grew up like speaking Spanish and shit. I grew up around a lot of plugs. I've been to Mexico at least 1,000 times type shit. But when I got out Maryland and shit, I was like, man, this shit is crazy. Like it's people, you feel me, that look like me, you feel me, and it's like I don't gotta bend for other cultures and shit. And I was young, you feel me, still having like this independent like money mindset and shit. So I came out.
Is that what made you attracted to like Baltimore? Like
it's more so like just the niggas I was around was just from Baltimore. Like the niggas I was fucking with was from Baltimore. Like it's a lot of soft type of people and shit that you come across between DC and Baltimore. But you know, just I ended up just gravitating more so to that side, and shit just clicked. Like shit just clicked. I had connections in my area, and it was connections out here, and my brother, you know, me and my brother we was just turning up out here and shit. Ended up getting a lot of money and shit. He just got locked up. He got 14 years. But you know, I'm a nigga basically from from out there and shit, and I came out here. I'm like an out of town type of nigga, but I fuck with the city and I fuck with the state heavy. I've been on it for 10 years and shit, getting money, just turned up and shit, you know, trying to make it.
So I want to turn towards your music a little bit. First of all, who inspired you to start rapping? When did you really know that was something you wanted to do?
Shit, it was back in the day, like 2012, 2013. Just listening to Yo Gotti, 2 Chainz, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent. Like, them was my main inspiration for real, especially 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz shit, when he came out with the True Religion shit, I was like, that was over. That's all I was listening to. Yo Gotti, that's all I was listening to. Gucci Man, that's all niggas was listening to for real. And like, the thing about music is like, you have that shit in the background of your life, but it's like, something about it, I don't know. Like, just the time, when I think about them times, I think about the music and like, they cross and shit. So like, take me back to like, that time and shit. Niggas just young, getting money turned and shit. Fucking with bitches, going to parties and shit. Like, listening to trap music, trapping, getting money. Like, this shit was just a wild time. So when I think about music, like, that shit really made me like inspired to try and recreate that type of energy, that type of feeling and shit that shit gave me.
So when did you know, like, when did you really realize that your career was taking off?
I'm gonna say it was like 4 years ago. I made a record called Ice Cream Cones or some shit like that. And I just released that shit to like a couple of my homies. And like 6 months to like 8 months later, I got in the car with a nigga and he was playing that fucking song. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yo, that's me. He was like, hell no. And I was like, yeah, that's me. And I had learned that this song started like making little ripples and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And niggas always been telling me like, yo, fuck the bullshit. Like, keep rapping, like keep fucking with the music and shit. I'm not that type of nigga. So like, I mean, like music was not what I was, you feel me, aiming for ever. Like, I was never the type of nigga that's gonna be a broke rapper. Like, that was just not my style and shit. So I stayed away from that shit, and I'm not a loud type of nigga. Like, my door's been kicked down plenty of times. Like, I've dealt with confidential informants. I've dealt with all types of bullshit. You feel me? I'm lucky to still be here. But when niggas is sitting telling me like, yo, go ahead, keep fucking with that music and shit, and I'm starting to see results, and I was like, all right, fuck it. The first mixtape that I did, a label picked up and they said, we gonna turn this shit into your fucking album. Fuck it, we can sell this shit. And I was like, all right, go ahead, do what you wanna do. Even the name Lor Sosa, like, I did not pick that shit. Cause I thought that shit's like Chief Keef. Like, I'm a music head, so I'm looking at that shit like, I don't know, that name's like kind of funny to me, you know what I mean? But they're like, nah, fuck that. My OG's like, nah, fuck that, go ahead, do you and shit. Cause niggas started calling me that in LA, but I went by Special J and shit. But they like, go ahead, fuck with that shit, it's going, you know. But yeah, it was mostly people just telling me like, yo, keep fucking with the music, keep fucking with the music, keep fucking with the music. And then after getting locked up, you know, so many times and shit, I'm a felon already, like, that shit started to close your opportunities and shit as far as what you could do. So I seen this shit, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead take off with this shit, fuck it. I know I could get up there, you know what I mean? Like, I'm real competitive with this shit, and that's kind of what made me different. Like, I feel like that's why this shit really start picking up and shit. Niggas could hear, like, it's a difference in the quality of my music and shit when you fucking with it.
And with 8 million plus views on YouTube, how's that make you feel? You know, coming from where you come from, you know, trying to do what you want to do, but now you picked up music, like you said, as a hobby, and now it's actually people are showing the respect and showing the same energy back that you're giving to your music. How does it feel to have all that coming towards you?
Like, seeing that shit, it give you like a short type of high. Like, you know, I fuck with it when I seen it. I seen the numbers was spinning and shit like that, but the way I see it, like, I got goals for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just be a city rapper or just a nigga that's coming out Maryland and shit. I really want to fuck the whole East Coast up or like fuck up the whole country type shit. So I always stay humble until I start seeing them type of numbers. Like, cause that's when I'm really going to like breathe, you know, take a breath and shit. Be like, all right, cool. Like, I can relax now a little bit. You feel me? Like, niggas I'm really eating off this shit. Like right now, I'm eating off this shit. And I don't have to do like no dumb shit, but it's like until I see them, until I start seeing, you feel me, that I'm on track to make them real goals happen and shit. Then it's work. I'm up 6 in the morning. I'm up in the studio. I'ma work harder. I'm working harder than niggas. You feel me? I'ma do more than what niggas is gonna do. You feel me? So that's how I look at it. I'ma go hard until we get up there. I'm trying to fuck with Drake and them, like, you feel me? That's some big head ass shit, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm trying to be up there.
Now, are you signed or are you independent?
So my deal is like a family type thing. So it's an independent label, but it's really just me and the guys, just making shit happen. Talking to niggas that's in LA, making phone calls and shit. Like, yo, what's up? We here. You hear me? Like, come fuck with us. We doing numbers and shit. That's basically what it is. We try to keep it as professional as possible, and we got good connections and shit. But at the end of the day, we really kicking it. We really kicking doors down and shit with this shit. Like, the way we going into it. Like, we don't have a whole lot of experience like fucking with the music industry.
And is there any artists, I want to really say out from Baltimore, but any artists in general that you want to see yourself working with in the near future?
Yeah, Moose. Young Moose. I've been fucking with Moose since Dum Dum came out. I had that shit out of my ringtone. I was like, bro, this shit's so fucking hard. Lil Stacks, I don't know if he out yet. I'll fuck with him. Bound Hunter Izzy. I fuck with Roddy Racks, Money Jake. Just like really, I fuck with niggas from Baltimore. So if niggas trying to work, then it's always right there for real. Just keep pushing shit forward. Like, turn up for the whole state, turn up for the city.
And what else can people find you doing besides making music? You got any businesses you trying to pursue or anything you trying to push? Maybe your label grow a little more?
Nah, it's all music. Like, I signed my first artist, his name Alex Fraze. You can find him on Instagram at Alex Fraze, ALEXFRAZE. On Instagram. I met him, matter of fact, right up the street at Rip Campus while I was getting tatted. He came in, his cousin was like, yo, this man could sing. I was like, all right, bet, tell him come through. He came, he started singing. I was like, bro, we gotta get this man because he nice as shit. So I got a record with him on the album. But yeah, music is all I'm doing right now. I put 100%, you feel me, into the shit I'm fucking with. If it's school, I gotta put 100% into it, because if I do some other shit, I'm gonna fuck it up. You feel me? So it's the same shit with like music, like it's 100. Like when I wake up, it's music. So.
And saying that, what advice could you give to an up and coming, young artist that was trying to put 100% into their music and hopefully reach the same numbers that you're achieving?
So if you coming up and you making music and people is fucking with you, it depends on two things. One, you can be talented, but you don't have necessarily the numbers and shit. Or two, you also talented, but you got numbers and shit. Regardless of what you're doing, you gotta find some money. You gotta get money. Like, if you want to break an artist, it's gonna be 800,000. It's gonna be 500,000 if you nasty. You got a crazy song like Spot 'em Got 'em had. Feel me? Something they went crazy on TikTok type shit. But if you ain't got access to like some bread to take a real risk, you feel me, to push your brand forward and shit, then you know what I mean, you gotta go back to the drawing board and shit and figure out how you get that type of attention and shit. First thing you gotta do is try and find some fucking money. Find some money and then you got a chance.
And would you say that the music scene here I'm gonna say in Maryland, it's different from the music scene in other areas such as like maybe LA or anywhere else you've been?
Yeah, it's different. I really don't see why Baltimore is not bigger than it is though, cause the culture is crazy. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's not enough exposure, not enough like industry support. Like I could tell niggas in Baltimore is not fucking with the industry type shit, and niggas is not gonna fold and shit. But if you got a business mindset and you really trying to go for the bigger picture and shit, then you gonna say, okay, we gotta bring in these other people so they can see, you feel me? So they can see what the fuck going on with us. So I feel like that's mostly what it is. It's just not a lot of industry exposure. You know, even if you have a song with, let's say like Glizzy or Pooh Shiesty or EBT, what the fuck is his name? ESTG. You hear me? Like you can have a dope ass record, but if you don't know what it's like to fuck with that type of machine and shit, you gonna set yourself up for failure. You gonna pay for a crazy ass feature and shit, but you gotta have a plan for that shit. You gotta have the bread to fuck with the marketing and all that. Like it's a whole bunch of shit that I've been seeing, like fucking with it. Cause I thought just making some dope ass music, the shit gonna start spinning. Like niggas gonna hear that shit, but you could be the most talented artist in the fucking world. You feel me? But if you ain't got exposure, then nobody gonna listen to your shit. Nobody gonna fucking hear you. And I feel like that's what's going on in the city. Is like we got all this dope ass content, but people not watching because that's somebody's job, like to put that shit in front of people the right way. So that's pretty much it with that.
Alright, that's real shit. Alright, so what projects can we look forward to seeing from you?
Shit, right now I'm working on a deluxe. I'm trying to get some major features. Coyle Ray, Trippie Redd, Rick Ross wanted to get on Millionaire Challenge. So basically, just look out for the deluxe. Go fuck with Borrowed Time right now. Shit, the shit gonna keep going up. I've had 4 million views in the last 3 months, and people starting to fuck with this shit. Hear me? The movement starting to kick in. So go fuck with Borrowed Time. It's out right now, all platforms. Lor Sosa, the shit kicking. So the deluxe coming out soon though.
Yes, sir.
Probably about the end of September, some shit like that. Deluxe should be coming soon. My next artist is gonna be dropping Alex Freys, and then we're gonna be working on some other ones. But major features is coming out. I got one I've been keeping, you feel me, like locked up and shit with Soulja Boy. I got some shit with Soulja Boy. I can't say too much about it, but this is some wild ass shit. Like niggas been telling me like, bro, you can't drop that shit fucking retarded. Like only because like my mans was going at people and shit, and I'm on a record, you feel me? And it seemed like it's a diss record, but it's not really a diss record towards like niggas at the top and shit, you feel me? Like I'm not really trying to be with that type of energy. I'm trying to make music that niggas fuck with and shit, and that's that. I'm not a clout chasing type of nigga. But I got some shit with Soulja Boy. He like one of the first major artists and shit to reach out to niggas. So shout out Soulja Boy. That record should be coming out soon. It's gonna be a single, and that shit probably gonna make waves and shit. TikTok, Instagram, blogs, all that type of shit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all see what's going on? We got Lor Sosa in the building. It's Hostile Sundays. You know, we only do the top of the top. Coming from Baltimore. Appreciate you coming out, bro.
Already.
It's Hostile Sundays. Tune in.
Pop pick 'em and nails over here. Pick 'em and nails over here. We pop pick 'em and nails over here.